Next one's from Jackie Jones, and the subject is the return of Brock Lesnar. I'm sure you guys will have spoken about it by now, but just in case, it was leaked out last week that Brock versus Keith Lee versus Drew McIntyre is now planned for WrestleMania 37. Yuck. Personally, I kind of find that hard to believe if the stuff about Lee being sent back to the PC for cardio training is true. But I have to admit that it would be a fun match to see. My question, though, is for Konnan and Disco. There's no denying that Brock is the biggest draw in wrestling, and his return will 100% bump Raw's ratings. But as creative bookers, what's left to do with Lesnar? I'm a huge fan, but I don't see what WWE could do with him that isn't just repeating stuff. Also, question for the group. Why is Sting now doing the 96-97 Lone Wolf gimmick appearance in AEW, yet he keeps walking around the ring hugging people? Makes no sense to me. He should repackage his look again. Joe is a TNA fan. I'm sure he remembers the time Sting did a new look down there.
Sting, one of the first times, this was like 15 years ago already. He came back in 2005 or something, and he got in really good shape, and he mixed up his face paint between NWO and Wolfpack, and then he wore a colorful jacket like he would in the 90s. It was just like an amalgamation of all his looks through the years, and it was pretty cool, but I don't think that. Why would he need a new look and all that now? He's not gonna have more than two, 3 matches.
No, you're getting Sting because of his old look.
Yeah,
that's the point. Yeah. Not his new. You don't want a new look, bro. Right. You don't want to debut a guy that's 62 years old and change his look.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? You know? That's nostalgia. And I told Vampiro this a couple times because he didn't want to put on his makeup, and I was like, bro, that's how they remember you. That's when you were the most famous. Right. You know, put the makeup on, you know, and it was a bitch with him. And the same thing with Sting. People remember him. The mass audience don't remember him with half and half face. They're gonna be like, "What the is this? Is that even Sting?"
Like, imagine if he came out there dressed like John Cena, like shorts and sneakers, like, and a hat. You know,
Warrior. Yeah. The first time Warrior left and came back, all he did was come back with shorter hair, and people were like, "Ugh, what the is this?" You know.
Let's get back to the top of this one.
Lesnar.
The Lesnar, Keith Lee, Drew McIntyre. That's who leaked that. Why is that a match?
That's not interesting to me. I'll tell you what would be interesting to me with Brock Lesnar: Brock against Roman.
Absolutely, that's the match.
Right.
Or what if Brock goes AEW? AEW's got a chance now to like do something if they make another big splash. You know.
Well, would they have him do fight mirror over a video game? Nothing.
I didn't watch Raw yet, and it's going to be painful. I'm definitely not going to watch it because everybody was talking about how the show was terrible, and it got the worst rating it's ever gotten.
Right.
This past Monday, but I could have told you that.
What a great excuse for you and me not to watch that 3-hour piece of shit.
Yeah, it was terrible. Okay, but I'll watch a condensed version just to see if there's some things I can see. But we'll review that later.
Yeah.
But it's funny, bro. Perfect. I could have told you. Okay, I was going to tweet this out. I was going to say Raw is going to do terrible tonight in the ratings, and you know why? What was last night's Monday Night Football game? It's like that was like the best game in like 2 years. I mean, I said you're watching this game.
Who wants to go watch Raw? Right.
It's like,
you're not even interested, right?
Not even interested. It's 0-0. That game was compelling. That was an awesome game.
It was
good drama, you know. So, but yeah, Keith Lee. Bro. Here's the thing. This is the problem that Vince McMahon has with this guy, right? Is they brought him in from NXT, right? And Vince is looking at this guy's size, and they say, "Oh, we've got a big main event monster."
Right.
They put him in there with Orton. But bro, the guy doesn't work the main event WWE style.
Right.
And that's why Vince is saying, "Hey, this guy's got to go. I don't want my 380-pound guy diving onto one of my 260-pound guy that can end up in an injury for both." You know, so it's just like, you know what I'm saying? So the guy's like, so Keith Lee, everybody's like complaining, "Oh, Keith Lee doesn't need to go back down." No, he needs to learn psychology where there's a lot of things that you probably can do, but you don't have to on that main event level. You know what I'm saying? Because the other guys won't want to work with you because you're doing too much stuff that provides too much bodily harm. I think that's what he's got to learn because he's still, and it doesn't lay it. And it's weird. He does stuff like acrobatic stuff and thing that puts the other guy has to, like, think about this. You got a basic guy that's 380 pounds jumping over the top rope. Who could do that? You know, so you just can't do that. That's like you're not going to catch. He's going to get hurt. The other guy, you're trusting the guy to catch you. You know, stuff. So
he does that because everywhere he did it on the Indies, including when I brought him to Tijuana, the place would come unglued.
Yeah, PWG.
Okay? And that's what they're working for on the Indies for pops.
Right.
And it stays in their head. And I'm wondering to myself, because there is a main event style that works and is safer and the boys last longer. But when you're young, you don't give a about any of that,
Right.
But I'm just wondering to myself, DI, when you get guys like Keith Lee in the main event, and then you get a guy, certain guys like that, how far are we away from the traditional main event that we understand it to be more the main event like NXT does? You know what I'm saying?
I don't bro, it depends. It depends.
But do you know what I'm saying?
It does, but it depends on the size of the performers.
When Hunter takes over.
When Vince sees his big guys out there, he doesn't want to see his big guys doing lucha.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he thinks that diminishes the character, stuff. So Keith Lee's just got to learn how to work more of a. For example, if Keith Lee worked, this is the thing too. Keith Lee works like Bam Bam Bigelow, a millennial Bam Bam Bigelow.
Right.
Like Bam Bam used to do a cartwheel. That's like the old, hey, I'm agile. But Bam Bam wasn't diving over the top rope, and if Bam Bam splashed you, it was the finish. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So he was that, but Keith Lee's doing like, hey, I can do the cartwheel, I can do the flips, I can do that. He says, no. The cartwheel's plenty. So for you, your character would not want to risk hurting yourself. Is what I think Vince is trying to install on these guys, Right. So
I don't understand the rumor because Vince is going to want Keith Lee in the WrestleMania main event. But then the other rumor is that Keith Lee's getting sent down with the other big guys.
This? I'm going on Billy Body's show.
I saw
Tuesday,
it.
And I'll get some scoops on this and everything. But I'm going to find out what the because he usually.
But isn't it his show about betting?
No. I'm doing his. He does the Dirty Sheets. He does his wrestling podcast too.
Oh, he does have a podcast about wrestling too.
He said it's the DirtySheets.com. He's got two. He's got LockBetting.com and the Dirty Sheets. He's got two podcasts.
But I just saw this Keith Lee WrestleMania rumor on SportsKita.com when I searched.
Well, I'm doing those guys tonight.
Oh, there you go.
You might want to ask them.
That's a big audience too. It's like 20,000 people supposedly. So we can spread the word on this. Yeah, I'll ask them to see what